So the last part of today's is to just simply convert a percentage to a decimal value. So let's consider 60%. We want to take that 60% and convert it to a decimal. Remember how we did the long divisions previously? It's the exact same thing. We're going to take this and just simply put 100, which is the whole, on the underneath, and then we would be simply cancelling to reduce the fraction. We have 6 divided by 10. We do a long division if we need to. 6, 10 outside here. 0 by 10 will give me 0 when I subtract it, and I will have 6 remainder. I'll have to put a radix and a 0 after the radix. Bring down that 0. I'll get 60. Put my radix here just to compare to the radix that I draw here. And now what I do is I simply find a value multiplying by 10 to give me 60. And I know 6 multiplied by 10 will give me 60. Here, like that. Subtract, I get 0. I have nothing to do once I reach that 0. So my answer is 0.6. Now that looks extremely simple. So we've just realized that all we have to do to convert a percentage to a decimal is simply divide that percentage by 100, and we'll be able to get it as a decimal. So let's do a quick recap or a little summary of what we did so far throughout these lessons. We have recognized that we have a relationship between decimal, percentage, and fraction. And we are able to represent any number that comes in a decimal, percentage, or fraction as one or the other, no matter where I get it from. If I get a decimal, I can convert it to percentage or fraction. If I get a fraction, I can convert it to decimal or fraction. And if I get a fraction, I can convert it to decimal or percentage. Let's say, for instance, that for the decimal, I have 0.2. And I want to convert that to a percentage, multiply that decimal by 100, and I will be able to say 20%. If it is that I want to take that decimal and convert it right away to a fraction, then what I can do is just simply take the number that I have on after the decimal point. So after the decimal point or the radix point, I have 2. So I put that 2 back here. I put a division symbol. I put 1 in front and then a 0 for each number on top of that division symbol. So right there. And then I simply reduce it. So using the HCF, I see that 2 is the HCF. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And I get 1/5. If it is that I start off, let's say, with a percentage of 30%, I can change that percentage to a fraction or a decimal. To convert it to a decimal, I simply divide it by 100. So I am saying 30% divide by 100%. Percentage signs cancel off. 10, 10 goes, and then we have 3 divided by 10. Right away, I can see that this comes to the fraction. And then from there, I can just simply say 3 divided by 10 is 0.3. And I'm able to get from percentage to decimal or fraction. Again, let's go the last way. The last one is that we can convert a fraction, let's say a half, into a percentage and a decimal. To convert a fraction to a percentage, I simply have to take that half, multiply by 100%, and I will get 50%. You can do that calculation to see it for yourself. I can also change that half into a decimal by doing some division, and I would get 0.5. So once you are able to efficiently move between each of these, you will have no problems later on doing maths.